intended for mature audiences may contain language and content not suitable for younger listeners. And most of that content's coming out of Justin's mouth.
This has been a thing that's been speculated for a very long time. Apparently, there's videos, there's episodes about Germans migrating to Argentina after World War II. So the story behind it is basically Juan Perion's administration participated in establishing and facilitating secret escape routes out of Germany to South America for ex-SS officials. Former Nazis officials either migrated to South America, United States, Russia, and Argentina, among others, in order to prevent prosecution. So, why are there so many Colombian and Argentinian girls that are blonde and blue eyes? Because yes, that is the ultimate, passport boy status right there. But
also a recessive gene.
Low-key a little bit scary that, given that it was only, 90 years ago? So, I mean... It's not too far-fetched from being, or not 90, maybe like 70 years old. Yeah, 70, 80, yeah, about that time. Like, is it too far-fetched to think that, maybe, Mr. went across the pond, to escape prosecution? And
dude, that is
was there
so long.
No, a very long time. Have you seen
factual?
Is there is there? Go ahead, please explain then.
Okay, so I've been reading right before we started the show. I was reading up on it a lot. I was really interested in this actually. So in Argentina,
of course, because you're really interested in Hitler.
And I like World War II. Justin. Okay? I'm a history buff. Okay, leave me alone.
Like Cupertino looks like a good place for me to live. Looks like Germany there.
So the Nazi regime set up Hitler youth schools all over the world. And there was probably 4,000 or so in Argentina itself, and then that spread to Brazil and other countries in South America.
Chile,
yeah. Chile was
and
another one.
It's factual that at least 10 high-ranking Nazi officers did flee to Argentina and were caught.
Right, yeah, that's factual.
Yeah. And
why Argentina? Why South America? That's what
okay, so that's what I'm getting to. I looked that up too because I was like, why? So apparently Argentina's president, I think Nick mentioned him at the time. I don't know what his name is, but he had ties to the Nazi party because Hitler was giving him money. Mm-hmm. And then Hitler, the whole thing, right before he came into power around like 1945, 1946, when Hitler died on April 30th, 1945, is when he came into power. And Hitler, at that point of at the height of World War II, he was probably the richest human being in the world. So it's not far-fetched at all to assume that he didn't die in the bunker and didn't commit suicide, and escaped on one of his U-boats, sailed to, or got out through Spain or some shit, because there's sightings of him in Spain, and then sailed to Argentina. Like, it's really not far-fetched at all.
No, and there is documentation from the 1950s all the way till today, and there is, people come, like, there's proof out there that says, over 3 million Argentinians are of German descent.
Yeah.
3 million!
Yeah.
3 million!
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they had the Hitler Youth Schools there, bro.
They have the fourth largest German population in Latin America and South America.
It's not even just Germany, man. It's like anybody that was a part of the Nazi party.
European, yeah. 3 million.
Yeah, well, I know like a lot of Italians went to Argentina as well, so that's why I was trying to figure out, is that a correlation of why, like the Nazis were going to Argentina in particular? But
they also
ended up in Brazil. They also ended up in Chile. But was it through the Italian connection, or because dude, you can look.
It could have been. Yeah,
you can look at there are cities in Argentina that look like Bavaria.
Real quick,
yeah, dude.
just to add to that point, you're talking about Italy. 5% of the demographic has a background, or 5% of the population in Argentina is German. 30% are Spanish, naturally.
Yeah.
Can you guess the number one? 34% obviously Argentinian, but 43% Italian.
I was gonna say,
So, but you also got to think, like, at this time, right, when this is going on, the majority of South America is under dictatorships.
Yeah.
They are not democratic states, and a lot of these dictators are looking at the time, we're looking at Hitler as what they wanted their states to be. Like, they idolized Hitler and what Hitler had done with Germany.
Yeah. Okay. I was
So-
thinking more Mussolini with the special.
Well,
battalion.
fair, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's where that correlation to South America comes in, right? Is that you're starting to see a lot of these dictators rise up, and you have the most famous at that point dictators in the world, and these people are like, oh yes, no, come here, be part of us, teach us your ways.
yeah, they're also the most powerful empire in the fucking world at that
Yeah.
point. Like, why wouldn't you want that? Especially if your country's broken. Like, Hitler took Germany from nothing after World War One and turned it into one of the strongest empires on the planet. Like, it's fucking crazy.
But this is also not like the first time that they did this, because also in Brazil, you have the Confederados, which are after the American Civil War. The president of Brazil basically went to the southern states and said, come here and we'll give you essentially free land, and you can bring all your slaves and grow your cotton here. And you literally have like Confederate celebrations that happen in Brazil every year.
What? No, I didn't
Yeah.
know.
What? Is that still
Yeah.
happening?
I had no
Yeah.
idea about that.
Yeah.
I did not know about
It's
that.
wild.
That's fucking wild.
It's one of the more like
Fuck.
frowned upon events, but
Yo,
it's
if I
a
go down to
real
Brazil,
thing
I
on
see
there.
a Confederate flag flying. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
It's estimated that 20,000 American Confederates immigrated to Brazil after the Civil War with
You know
their
what's-
slaves.
You know what's crazy though is because like there were a couple like I guess people who were wanted by the law. They somehow ended up in Brazil and Argentina. Like,
I'm pretty
so I
sure
guess it's like-
they're not. It used to be a non-extraditing country for a long time, so like
Right.
they were
Yeah.
able to get there and just kind of stay there.
It's also if
That's
you
what
think
happened.
about
I
it,
was looking it up. A lot of like these German officers that were part of the SS, they couldn't get extradited because that rule didn't come into effect until 1985, and half of them are like 70 years old, 60 years old at that time. A lot of them ended up
Already,
passing
man.
away in that area. Like,
It's also super
But-
rural. Like, most of these places are covered in jungle. You're not
who's
finding
going to
anybody.
search there? Who's going to
That's
search
now
there?
Argentina.
Who's going to
Argentina
look there?
doesn't
Yeah.
have
Especially at that
jungle
time,
laws, like pretty
nobody's
much
gonna-
wooded.
yeah,
It looks-
back then
Well,
it looks
before
like a
tech,
European
bro,
country.
extradition was probably not their concern. Like, you ain't
Yeah,
finding me in the
extradition wasn't a
jungle.
thing, really.
Yeah,
Like,
you're not
unless you
finding
have
me.
Treaties
And
and trade.
and also,
What
let's not
what a
forget
time
that.
to be alive then.
Yo, people just used to escape to Mexico, man.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
but
What a
so
time
World-
to be alive.
I say World War II. I think Mexico actually sent troops on behalf of the Allies for it, but the majority of South America like just declared themselves neutral in World War II as well, and we're like, nope, we're not supporting any side in this.
A lot of
So
them
it's-
sided with Germany.
It's neutral, well, but like sided with Germany, but did not send support, did not send troops, did not send any of
They
that
took-
shit.
they
We're
took
just
money.
like, yeah, we're going to take your money and you can come here.
Who's not going to take?
And they also let them set up embassies and Hitler Youth schools to raise
Yeah.
people for the
Yeah.
army that they sent back over to Germany.
Yeah,
I mean, like there was a German embassy.
I would call
here
that
in the
siding
United
with
States
them.
during World
That's
War
not
II,
very
you know,
neutral.
so-
you declare yourself neutral.
That's not very neutral. That's
I
not,
mean-
that's not Swiss neutral.
The Swiss were neutral and they were taking all that fucking Nazi stolen fucking
Oh,
gold
yeah,
and putting it in
they were
their
taking
banks.
that.
I would
Yep,
say that's not
how
very
Nazi
neutral.
Germany became
That's a
powerful
good
because
point.
they stole a lot.
That's a very
They stole a hell of a lot.
like, we're neutral and we're just going to profit from this war.
Yeah,
But don't attack us. Don't attack us. Because we don't believe in either of you.
yeah. We just believe in money.
Well,
Pretty
I was
much.
also looking up. It was crazy the other night. This topic came up. We were talking about the. I was listening to this video about the denazification of Germany and how
The
intense that
denazification.
was. Yeah, dude. Like, so pretty much, if they charge any citizen if they were known to be participating, even though the citizens was like, well, like it was as rules of the country, as the rules of the land at the time, pretty much allied soldiers and allied governments, I mean, like, were looking at them like, no, you are willing participants. And then so they end up being tried, and also they end up being jailed. They were also like sending citizens of towns to like go and clean up concentration camps, digging up buried Jewish bodies in these concentration camps. They will
Band of Brothers. You've seen Band of Brothers, right?
Oh, that's where I remember that from.
Ninth episode where they bring the people in. That's what it's based off of.
Yeah, they make them do it.
They make them do it. That's what it relates to.
Like Nazi sympathizers. And shit.
Like, I mean,
and it is crazy because
how are you gonna tell me that you didn't know what was happening?
That's just a cop out.
Yeah, it was a huge cop out. Like, and the thing was, it was crazy because like even there's generals, like American generals, on record was like, we do not want to repeat the same wars that we did repeat the same mistakes that we did during what was it,
the First World War,
the occupation of the South after the Civil War.
I mean, Robert E. Lee.
Reconstruction, like they were like, Reconstruction was a failure.
Robert E. Lee, who everyone's fighting over all these fucking statues and shit about, literally came out and was like, "No, the South lost. You shouldn't build shrines to them. You shouldn't build statues to us. Like, we lost. This is not how we fix any of this shit. Like, we need to move forward as one country at this point." And now here in America, we're like, "Nah, man, put that Robert E. Lee statue back up."
Well, on the way down to Myrtle last weekend, saw two of those big fucking Confederate flags flying on 95.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's great. That's so great.
Yeah.
Like, we're still living in the fucking past. So bad, bro. So bad.
Imagine bringing up Nazi Germany in Germany right now. They're like, nope, absolutely fucking not.
Well,
don't ever mention it. Don't breathe it. Don't think it.
Crime. I think it's a crime to fly the Nazi flag in Germany now. Like, you go to jail for it.
Yeah, leave it to dumb fucking white Americans to get fucking neo-Nazi'd.
It's so funny because if you go to Germany right now, they're one of the most like progressive, like liberal countries in the world.
They are, yeah.
Like it flipped so quickly, and while we're still seeing Confederate flags, driving down 95, which is wild. Like, you would figure, with everything happening, can't learn from the past. Apparently that's not something that we like to do, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, I think let me just say something. When I moved here from Chicago, like, I did not know I knew what a Confederate flag was because I learned it in school and stuff like that, right? But I didn't know that people still flew that around here when I moved here.
Yeah. Like,
I had zero idea. I'm driving to wherever I was going that one day, and I still remember that to this day. Back of a fucking Ford pickup.
Imagine like coming from Maryland and DC to coming to Virginia. That's like how wild it is.
Yeah.
I apologize. I couldn't remember if it was a Toyota truck or if it was a Ford, because if you fly a Confederate flag on the back of a Toyota, I mean, do they know that it's not made in the United States? Like, do they?
Well, most of them are now.
But,
so
yeah, they're back there sewing and knitting them.
The fact that I didn't know about this until I was like 20 years old, 21 years old, like that blew my mind. Like that really put me in the position. I was like, oh, well, now I'm really in the South. Like,
so Nick, I got you beat slightly on this. Is when I went to West Virginia and I was living in West Virginia, I saw more Confederate flags than I've ever seen in my life. And I finally stopped and I was like, yeah, why do you guys all have like Confederate flags everywhere? And they were like, well, it's our heritage. And I went, the whole reason you exist as a state, because you were part of Virginia, and then the Civil War broke out, and you didn't want to be part of the South,
right?
So you split off to be part of the North. The whole reason that West Virginia exists is because you didn't want to be part of the Confederacy. So the people with the least amount of heritage in a fucking Confederate flag is the state of West Virginia, because it was only created because they didn't want it to be a part of their heritage.
Right.
That's way too complex for their brains.
As slave landowners, because they didn't have any slaves out there.
Yeah.
It's so bad, dude.
And also, just talking about Germany, what up, Angela Merkel? I know you're listening. What's that skirt smell like, girl?
Oh, my God.
Not that mahi.
Oh my god, that happened.
That escalated very quickly. But I mean, I don't.
We're about to get flagged by
I
the
mean,
State Department.
it's so crazy that like this still exists. Like you don't, yeah. Like I mean, you'll see it here and there overseas, but like it's so prominent here, and I can't comprehend why it's so hard to just not hate something or someone. Like I don't get it. Like I genuinely don't. Like I don't.
Stop trying to
That
understand.
might
this.
just
South
be
are
me.
the
Like,
original sore
it's
losers,
hard
man.
though. Like it's so
Yeah.
hard because like people learn their lesson, right? You know, but apparently some people just don't learn their
Nah,
lesson.
man,
though.
people
Like
get their ass
how-
whipped
I
all
mean,
the time. Still think they can go back and beat the other person that whooped their ass twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
See,
like, I got it the
that's-
third time.
loser.
I got it the third time.
That's what's so wrong with this. Never mind. You know what? I'm trying to go to the moon. I'm trying to go down to the deep. You know, in the middle of.
We're sending
Australia,
you to
down
the south.
water. Yeah, I'm not trying to get
We're gonna
flagged.
send
You
you.
know what? I'm gonna,
Princess,
I'm gonna-
We're sending
no,
Nick
we
down
actually
to
can't send you with the $3 of our dollars put together.
Yeah.
We're gonna put you.
yeah, I'll
We'll
just
put you in deep
stay
Alabama.
quiet
Actually,
now.
no, we'll put you in Mississippi.
Oh god.
Real quick, if you're trying to support Nick's trip all over the world, you can check out our new merch store that we have, you guys. It is
Cool shit on there.
factsmerchandlies.com. You can get some sweet shit with our stuff on it and 0 Confederate flags.
Boom.
None at all.
Man, the shameless
None at
plug. I
all.
like it. I
ELE.
like it.
ELE. Everybody love everybody.
It's been great hanging out with you guys. Peace, love. Say thank you every once in a while. Justin Baby Boy, cue the damn music. We out, motherfucker.